Quickly, this presentation it's going to be a half-an-hour presentation, and then I have a demo to share with you. It's going to showcase the solution we've developed, and then a few minutes for question and answer if you have any. And so Sigma IMS is a methodology as a service provider. We are a business, a consulting business here in the Netherlands, and we develop sector agnostic measurement infrastructure intelligence for impact aligned capital. And we are very active in the blue economy space, supporting enterprises, impact focused enterprises on developing their impact measurement and management infrastructure. Gradually, we see the need to deploy our intelligence platform into the M&E space, and we've identified critical needs for our solution. So our approach is hinged on these three pillars. First, what we have been doing is consolidation of different frameworks, which is one of the challenges of the impact focused or impact space. There are competing frameworks. So far, we've unified over 57 frameworks. And one of the challenges with the enterprises is reporting that meets the different stakeholder needs. This is quite burdensome. It's quite challenging to report to different donors, to different funders, to different stakeholders, and each donor, each funder with their own needs, with their reporting guidelines, reporting formats. The second pillar is operationalization of this consolidated unified frameworks. We use AI-assisted tools for theory of change generation, impact rating, calculations, aggregation engines, and we have a portfolio analysis engine as well. And then we deliver this using a zero disruption principle. We don't create a new platform, but we provide the data. We provide services to clients where their data is located. So we have zero disruption, and no data migration is needed to meet client needs. So when we talk about the missing link, what exactly is are we referring to? So the core problem is that there are two silos which we have identified, the impact investing space and then the national monitoring and evaluation systems. They are both sitting in different spaces, and to achieve the SDG targets, these spaces need to correspond. They need to be aligned. And so far, current estimates show that about $4 trillion is needed to achieve the SDGs, and over about 83% of SDG targets are off track. And we have growing competing frameworks because of the challenges of demonstrating impact. More frameworks are being established, to enhance and improve outcome tracking, outcome measurement. Then assessment shows that about 60 to 80% of the time spent by organizations is on data cleanup, which is supposed to be channeled towards decision making. So looking at the two spaces now, zooming into the impact investing world, over 73% still use Excel for impact measurement and management, and about 88% want government action. They want government to be involved in the sector, and about 32% use formal impact measurement and management system. And this has implications on capital allocation, impact ratings, portfolio benchmarking, and LP reporting. On the far right is the national M&E systems, which The monitoring and evaluation systems analysis, the MESA takes about 3 to 12 months per country, and about 35% of governments can track their own. Only 35% of governments can track their own strategies. So M&E and IMM are two silos, and several scholars have identified this as a challenge. In between this is a shared principle. Both spaces need to deploy resources for outcomes. Both spaces require and demand credible evidence. There is the need to have comparable data, and then accountability is key to all stakeholders within the space, and then every data, every outcome needs to be validated. And when impact investors measure outcomes credibly, it improves capital flow and channels this capital to where development is needed greatest. And when governments measure evaluation capacity systematically, public services improve for the people who need them most. And one of the key issues that was raised by the impact frontiers regarding this inefficient impact measurement and management system is that siloed approach leave impact, money, or both on the table. So it's important to harness both impact and money to maximize how much of that can be achieved. So on both sides, we have the impact capital, investors, funds, and then on the right side, we have the national M&E, and then here in the middle, we have this disconnection happening. So what is the bridge? We as Sigma IMS, we have identified an opportunity to bridge these two worlds together using an intelligence platform, intelligence system, rather. And we use this three-pillar approach. First, we identify the opportunity, where should capital go? And we connect to the intelligence systems of the UN SDG investor platform and the IFC AIM platforms. From there, we are able to translate the in-country requirements and then tracking the outcomes from these platforms. And the outcome, the output from this second pillar helps us to create a trajectory of backcasting variance analysis to track how much outcome is moving across this whole spaces between the impact investing world and the M&E national M&E system. So visually, this is what it looks like. We have the impact capital. Upstream, we have the IFC AIM and SDG investor, UNDP SDG investor platform, identifying the SDG needs of a country. And with that information, investors and DFIs use that to prioritize capital allocation to enterprises. And our system helps to build the impact measurement and management system for the enterprises and rolling these outcomes and aggregating it at the portfolio level. And we also connect with the MESA INC, that is the National Evaluation Measurement Indices, and the MESA integration, how they all connect with the integrated national financing framework to prioritize funding for sustainability related projects. So our system sits in the middle as a shared evidence to connect both the impact capital and the national M&E systems. So from the opportunity that is identified at the upstream level, and we support the opportunities using these measurement frameworks, ensuring that capital, that the outcomes can be tracked at the enterprise level to the portfolio level, and we leverage the MESA INSEE tracking system and the INFF system to create a holistic sustainability tracking system that can be attributed. So from this paper, Navigating AI and Digitalization, was developed by Glendon from the GEI, and it's called the GI3 Lens Framework. And we utilize this approach to create evidence. It helps us to select and map indicators from multiple frameworks, and it helps us to compute portfolio-wide heterogeneous analysis, which is quite difficult. If we're going to aggregate outcomes across different portfolios, you could have one portfolio in the blue economy, you have another portfolio in the agricultural space. How do you aggregate this data? You need a robust framework integration indicator aggregation system to be able to do that. And then also one of the key things is creating new evidence is pattern discovery. The AI system helps to identify and recognize patterns that otherwise will have been left, unseen. The second aspect is for the workflow improvement. About 50 to 70% timeline compression is what we achieve, and automate crosswalks between different frameworks. And as I mentioned earlier in the introduction, we have a zero disruption delivery. That is wherever the data is, our methodology system meets the data. We assess the readiness, the current practices, and the data collection system, how ready it is for scale up, and then we're able to help improve efficiency and improve the cleanup efforts. And then the third aspect is the capability, which is the ground. Human ground truthing is key. It's essential when dealing with AI systems. And then organizational readiness, like I mentioned, how ready is the organization? And we fix before adding. Sometimes the measurement system might be deficient or might not be robust enough to track outcomes. Hence the need for us to jump in to assess what needs to be fixed before gradually adding or scaling up. So specifically how we use AI, we use this AI in these four categories. First is the automation. We automate routine work, cleaning data, matching codes, and formatting outputs. These are some of the tedious, repetitive work that requires AI to automate. And the next step is the augmentation. We draft initial documents using AI, like the theory of change, crosswalk suggestions, and impact rating systems. When we have this initial draft, from experience, all these drafts take time to come up with. The inertia that is required, to start drafting new documents. So we use these AI systems to augment. And then the third step is the enabling aspect, which work invisibly by hand, comparing a whole portfolio across many frameworks, which is much more deploying AI at scale to assess a wide or broad categories of data. The fourth aspect is the discovery, which is the pattern that are connected, data connection, correlation, causation, depending on how the methodology is structured. So the discipline we enforce is, first, we ensure that we have human in the loop, AI assist. Human in the loop is a must. AI only assists the expert decides. There has to be a human sign off, and we do not use client data for training. Everything is done via APIs or delivery via Excel or whatever level of maturity the client's data is, and every AI step is logged and is auditable. So what AI actually solves is the speed. It helps to with the diagnostic timelines. It compress months to weeks. From our experience, what usually takes months can be done within a few weeks, and then extended reach, qualitative analysis, transcription, voice processing. All of this can be done in a limited time with AI, freeing up more time to take to focus on judgment and other decision and management issues. The discovery aspect is also important. As AI is deployed more and more, we begin to see emerging trends that were previously not known, insights that would have been missing. AI begins to surface them, and we have quality under tighter budgets. We see significant cuts now across several sectors, funding cuts, and AI is a viable tool to step in to bridge, to address that. So the key challenge that we have identified is that the 60 to 80% time required for data cleanup. With AI assistance, AI native data architecture can help with the collect ones and structure the data and to report to several stakeholders using the same primitive data. Framework proliferation can be addressed using a unified crosswalk methodology with automated compliance. I'm going to show you this in a moment in a demo which I have to show you how this can work in real life. Next is the INSEE MESA gap resolve, which the AI assistants can help with the test bridge to unify quantitative scores with the qualitative depth, and then cross-sector comparison, which is quite difficult to do when you have a portfolio with several companies. It becomes difficult to understand insights, to gain insights or draw insights or begin to infer what is happening across the portfolio. And this helps with portfolio-wide heterogeneous aggregation of indicators. And then the last is the static targets. Usually, when countries make projections about their M&E systems, what they intend to do, what they intend to achieve in 5 years, in 10 years, and they create the systems as static systems without tracking how much are they off track, are they meeting target, or what are the key factors that are not meeting those targets. So the AI, with AI assistance, this can be addressed using the biennial backcasting variance analysis to help calibrate different thresholds depending on what the projection is. If it's in 10 years or 5 years, you assess how much of the threshold you are meeting per year, and what corrective actions can be taken to address those aspects that are not meeting the projection. So what are the common pitfalls when working with AI? A lot of people feel excited deploying AI, and some people use AI just for the sake of using AI or because of trends. Oh, people are using AI or companies are using AI, so it becomes incumbent for one to use AI. But there are lots of caveats of working on using AI. First is the verification aspect. AI cannot verify its own output. That's something to be aware of. For those who are already conversant with AI, this is something that that is experienced. So it's very important as a mitigation measure to keep a verification checklist and verify every external figure or every search that AI returns back. The second point pitfall to avoid is the unclear prompt. Sometimes the prompt, it's garbage in, garbage out. You know, what you provide is what the AI brings, but the AI could polish exactly what is requested and return it, and it might sound plausible, but on close scrutiny you realize that the output is flawed. So it's important to provide clear prompt, state the intent and acceptance criteria upfront of what is needed from the AI, run an analytical pass before an execution pass, and always confirm the scope before large changes are made. There is also automation bias, which is quite common. This is a quite common pitfall where as soon as an AI produces an output, there is the strong temptation to just run with it because it sounds polished. It looks, convincing. And that's why, to avoid this, a mandatory human sign-off gate is needed. And AI should be used as a drafting and triangulation tool rather than an authority. And the fourth aspect is the non-determinism and reproducibility. Ask the same thing twice. You can always ask, when you ask the same thing twice, sometimes you get a different run of answers from the AI. So it's important to always have a template or to have a codified decision or an artifact to guide the AI. Hey, AI, I need this output using this format or using a particular reference. It helps guide the AI, because the AI almost never turns your request down. It will always bring bogus suggestions, bogus ideas. So it's good to always tailor it to specific templates or specifications that you have. So AI compresses the drafting and the computation, but it does not compress the judgment, the verification, or the trust. The discipline is always in the methodology. And that's why it's important to spend time on the methodology, on building the systems. And it is the methodology that keeps AI as an accelerant rather than a liability, which is the same reason a country's M&E system, not the speed of the tooling, is what makes an impact claim credible. So I have here the conclusion, but before we conclude, I will share my screen to show you a demo of how this works for us in our system. Yes. So as I mentioned at the start, this is the interface of the intelligence platform. And here in the middle is the Sigma methodology, which connects the impacts capital deployment and the national M&E and INFF systems. So if I toggle this off, you see that they are operating in silos. Oftentimes you find investors identify enterprises that they want to invest in, and they have specific outcomes that they are tracking, that they request the enterprises to report, which they in turn report to LPs. But how do these outcomes contribute to the SDG targets of the country? This is a question that is not answered. And it is quite complex because of the challenges of attribution, counterfactual, and all of that that is needed to demonstrate that. On the other hand, we have the national M&E systems that is aligned to measure or to track SDG budget, but what contribution is these enterprises, impact-focused enterprises, how are they contributing to these SDG targets of the countries? It's not really clear. We have the UNDP Investor Intelligence Platform, for example, that tracks the SDG needs of the country. We have the INFF, Integrated National Financing Framework, that tries to align capital towards SDG achievement. But the two worlds are in silo. And that's why here we come in to integrate these two systems. So the first step for us is to identify the country need, the country's development plan and its SDG commitments, which defines the outcomes. And from there, we move towards identifying where capital should go. The INFF strategy, financing strategy, and the SDG investor map translate national priorities into investment opportunity areas. It is this investor opportunity areas that investors, DFIs, can use as the basis of channeling and deploying capital towards the outcome the country actually needs. So the investment now becomes more intentional, and the outcomes achieved can be tracked towards the national contribution. The third step is the deployment, capital deployed for the enterprise to generate the outcomes. So we have the investors, development finance institutions, and blended finance vehicles deployed to enterprises, which generate the real outcomes and already hold the source data. And here, Sigma IMS also supports enterprises to measure and manage this data and aggregate this data at the portfolio level. The fourth step is the aggregation from the enterprise, from different enterprises to the portfolio, which is a fund or an investor has invested in. One data effort feeds the national system, which I'm going to show you in a bit. And then the sixth step is the loop that closes the integrator, which showcases how the national M&E system feeds the INFF monitoring and review building block. So here we have a portfolio with 8 enterprises that are in different countries, and the number of beneficiaries are tracked, the number of jobs, and then disaggregated by gender, and then the capital deployed, and then the contribution is assessed, and then the baseline is determined, either it's measured or it's modeled. So once these figures here are adjusted, for example, we have these figures adjusted, then the number, the aggregation happens here. The aggregation engine tracks how much of this data is contributed at the portfolio level. So at the portfolio level, it can be tracked how much jobs have been created, how much capital have been deployed. It's all tracked here, and what percentage of the workforce of the employment created are women, and what percentage are men. And from these beneficiaries, not all the beneficiaries, are attributed directly to the investor, to the portfolio. So this double guard count guard ensures that there is no double counting, and all the beneficiaries tracked are attributed to the portfolio. without double counting. So, and all of this, this is the one of the core things that we do. Here is the allocation. So one of the problems we are solving is that from one data set that we have up here, we're able to report to align with the iris plus metrics, with the IMP 5 dimensions, with the SDG targets, one data source, the aggregation engine that we have, the methodology, the unifying methodology, can report to all these frameworks using one data source. So this eliminates the need every time to provide a report to a specific donor or a funder or any stakeholder. So from one data source, you can always report to a stakeholder. And we have this AI assisted reporting. Once you click on this, the report is tailored using the template that a stakeholder needs. It's generated. The AI is used to build the template into the reporting framework. So once this is you click on the generate LP impact narrative, it retrieves all the data and all the figures from what we have here, and then at once you can export this data either to Excel or to PowerPoint or to PDF or MS Word or whatever format you want. And then this is one of the very important things I was talking about earlier, the sign-off. Before this document is exported, before it is shared externally, there has to be a sign-off. You know, do you the claim tiers, the frameworks, and then the double count guard. So there has to be a validation of this, and then the name of the validator is incorporated here before the sign-off is done. So once this is accomplished, you can use the same data source to, if you are interested in calculating the social return on investment, the criteria can be incorporated into the system to measure the social return on investment, either by priority weight, as some companies prefer, or observed change that is being tracked. And then the last component is the country level M&E system. So this is the MESA system, and this is the INSEE system. Depending on the level of maturity of the system, it also contributes to the level of attribution or the reliability of what can be tracked. And then the last part is the portfolio level. How much of these claims the SDGs, how much are the SDG contributions of this portfolio to the country, So here we see this investment contributes SDG 14, SDG 2, SDG 8 to the country level, and then at the portfolio aggregation for each country can be tracked. And then for the INFF monitoring, this is subject to consent depending on verification of the calculations and all the outcomes. So this is the demo of what we have developed. And then to close this session, here is the conclusion. Yes. So to conclude, the question here is how much, let's see. The conclusion is how should the impact evaluation and management professions respond to Why is it not sharing? Let me see. Yes. How should evaluation professionals respond to AI? First, by building the systems that make AI serve evaluation's purpose, not by resisting change, not by chasing novelty, not by adapting with structure, but by adapting with structured domain expertise, ensuring human in the loop validation. As I showed earlier, there has to be a sign off by a human, and then and methodology that turns impact data from a compliance body into a strategic decision-making asset. So AI without methodology is speed without direction. Human judgment is more essential, not less, and accessibility is the multiplier that matters. When people have access to AI, it helps with the funding cuts, with improving efficiency, and most importantly, the system around the tool is what makes the output trustworthy. It is not just about the AI system. It is not just deploying AI for the sake of AI or because AI is a trend, but because AI has genuine value to accelerate impact evaluation, impact measurement, and management. And it can help to channel and deploy capital to the right places where capital is needed, and it can be tracked with greater level of efficiency. So this is what I have to share in this session, Ahmed. I hope this has given some insights about how we deploy AI here in our methodology, and this is work in progress. We're still building more and more because we are not on track to achieving the SDGs. So we want to keep pushing and want to keep building, ensuring that by 2030 and post 2030, we have a strong foundation, a strong solution, and intelligence platform that can help to deploy capital and track the outcomes that is needed to achieve sustainable development globally.
But
So
thanks a lot. Can you
thank
hear
you.
me?
I don't know if you have any questions, any
I hope you
comments,
can.
anyone. I
I hope you
saw
can hear
some
me.
persons joined as well and interrupt
You
talk.
can, unfortunately.
You can put your questions in the chat as well. If you have any questions, I can seem to hear you. Okay. Okay. Great. So yeah, this is the end of the webinar, and thanks for joining. You can check our website as well, sigma-ims.io, if you for more information on our intelligence platform and how we continue to evolve. So thank you so much for making our time to join, and looking forward to continuing this conversation with you in the future. Thank you.